Okay, okay. We got a couple viewers tuned in. I don't like waiting too long, but I don't like getting started without anybody on here. So we have enough people on here to where I can get started. So last week we talked about motivation, and motivation is, what gets you up and running. Like motivation is like maybe the gas in your tank or something. Some people are motivated, some people not. We expounded on it a little bit last week, and your motivation has to be bigger than a lot of the things that we going through in life, because the things that you're going through can really tear your motivation down. You have people that enroll in college or do something to help their life, and as fast as they do something positive, something negative happens and it kick them down. So when you lack that type of motivation and that type of perseverance, you often find yourself in the gutter. Like you find yourself in the gutter, and it's a it's harder to get out of the gutter than it is to get in the gutter. So we have to have something greater than ourselves. You have to have something bigger than you to actually believe in, something to actually propel you to the next level when things get hard. And that is exactly what purpose is. When you see people start things, stop things, start things, stop things, start things and stop things again, you have certain family members who've probably had all kind of careers, all kind of things that they did, and they have this certain passion in the beginning. It could even be a relationship. You see people that's so happy in the beginning of a relationship, and then these people are always looking for that particular happiness that they found in those first month to 3 months of the relationship, that they are never happy after that point because they don't even understand the purpose of the relationship. It's like doing a certain type of drug. You get a certain high, and then you are looking for that high over and over and over and over and over again. And people call that chasing a dragon. So they say, oh, you chasing that dragon, and that dragon is unobtainable because you'll never feel the same rush you felt that day. Even when you feel a higher high, it'll never feel the same as that initial rush. So we have to understand why we're doing something. Just going to work won't cut it, because your boss will piss you off. People at work will piss you off. It ain't enough money in the world to deal with certain things. So unless you have an actual purpose of why you're there, unless you truly understand the bigger picture, unless you are in tune with something larger than yourself, then you will always feel unhappy. And then that unhappiness will lead to you not feeling motivated, because a lack of motivation can keep you in your bed all day. A lack of motivation can make you put a gun in your head. A lack of motivation can have you do certain things that you would never think that you would do until you in that certain position. So the whole point of today's info stream is to talk about purpose. And I can't tell you how to find your purpose in particular because I don't know you. But in order for me to find my purpose, I had to be quiet. I had to actually listen to what God had in store for me, because I've always felt like I was in control of my life. And I know that I still am in control of my life. But being overconfident and being in control of my life, because I felt like I could handle anything that life threw at me. I felt like even if God didn't give me the direction, God gave me the strength to deal with my bad decisions. So I've had bad decisions that's cost me years of my life. So in the first time, you can make every excuse in the world. Oh, I was young. It's a mistake. I mean, I was a kid, and technically I was. I was just turning 18, and I got into trouble. And you can make that excuse, but it's only so much of that you can do when it happens again, and then it happens again. And so in that second period, you are forced to deal with the reality that I may not just be messing up. I may be a mess up. I don't want to cuss on here because sometimes this go to places that I don't have no control over. But you get the point. When you are in your purpose, you will find the strength to overcome certain things that not being in your purpose would not allow you to do. So, in my purpose, I have found the strength to go without some things that I did have in my former life. And if the people who are tuned in now don't know what my former life was in the streets, and I did pretty good at the streets. So, in my former life, I had the option of never saying I can do it tomorrow, or I can do it Friday, or I get a couple more clients, I can take care of this, or I can do this. And in my former life, there were things that were positive. The fact that I could do what I wanted to do was a positive. What was a negative is that I was always watching over my back. I had to worry about who was really friends. I had to worry about the enemies that I didn't understand. I had to worry about police. I had to worry about losing my kids to the system. I had to worry about losing my woman because I'm going somewhere and she don't got a bid in her. It was a lot of things that I had to worry about. In my life today, I don't have any of that to worry about. So you have to weigh the options. And in me weighing my options, I understand things a lot differently because I understand my purpose. It is not my purpose to be in anyone's jail doing any time. It's not my purpose to be on anybody's t-shirt. Whether it say free me or rest in peace to me, it is not my purpose to be on your t-shirt unless you buying some kind of merch. It is not my purpose to be a real nigga. It is not my purpose to be a real nigga. It is my purpose to raise and take care of my children. So when you find people that actually understand their purpose, they walk different, they talk different. And it may be a little bit intimidating if you haven't found your purpose. And a lot of times your purpose don't have to align with the people that you're around because everybody's purpose can be different and you guys can march to the same rhythm because your purpose may intertwine with their purpose. My purpose may be to raise my kids, but I just did a parent teacher conference for my youngest child, and this was the first one that I've ever went to with him, and they gave me a long printout of everything that he's been doing, and it was very enlightening to see some of the things that he was doing in school. And he just turned 5 yesterday, so he was only 4 when I went to this conference last week. And it was like, dang, he is a whole personality. And me not being in his life will actually affect him. Where I left my smaller kids and I was back in time for 6 and 7 birthdays or whatever, but I left my small kids and that could have a long lasting effect on those kids. So my purpose not being in the streets and my purpose actually being to raise my kids and to take care of my family, it causes certain friction with certain other people that I may have felt like were a part of my purpose before. You have to take the time to find yourself. If you do not find yourself, nobody could find your purpose for you. Now, you may be a awesome chef, and I say, man, you should start your own restaurant. That's great. That's a great idea. I'm a business consultant. I can help you start your restaurant. It may be something that we could do together, but that may not be your purpose. Where I feel like I'm giving you some game and I'm enlightening you to your purpose, that may not be your purpose. So in your purpose, you have to do that soul searching for yourself. I can't do that. Now, once you find your purpose, you have to make sure that everything around you aligns with your purpose. You have to make sure the female that you're dealing with or the male that you're dealing with understands your purpose and they are willing to align with your purpose. So your purpose doesn't have to be your mate's purpose. My fiance doesn't want anything to do with my particular business. She does what I ask her to do, and that's fine. Um, a year ago, I would have wanted her to do certain things, but that's not her purpose. What I have found is that as long as I'm not putting pressure on her to do certain things, she comes around, and that's fine. That doesn't mean she has to do what I want her to do. It means that when she finds what she wants to do, she's confident in doing what's comfortable for her. You can force people into doing things and it may be the right thing, but they may not feel like it's their purpose. You had to show people more than you can tell them. So in my former life, I did pretty good. So I was around people that did pretty good. And I won't say who it was, but when I first came home and I said, nah, I'm going to school and I'm gonna start this business and I'm gonna go do what I need to do to make sure that I'm here to raise my children, I was met with a certain type of discrepancy. And even now, when I bump into people, they like, you serious? Because I've been in the streets all of my life. When I say I've been in the streets all of my life, I haven't had a job since I worked at Wendy's when I was 18. So in me finding my purpose, which was actually going back to school, and I don't mind working and I don't mind doing what it takes to make sure that I keep food on the table and make sure that my kids are okay. And sometimes I have to be humble enough to ask for help. And sometimes I have to be humble enough to say, I can't do this today. It'll have to wait until I shoot a couple more moves. In my purpose, I'm not bothered by doing any of this because me living my former life was not my purpose. Me being in somebody's jail was not my purpose. Me being in somebody's graveyard was not where I'm supposed to be. So I have to take what comes with me actually living in my purpose because I have found my purpose. My purpose isn't just to be here for my kids, it's to show them better. My purpose is to actually leave them something when I leave here because nothing was handed to me. So once you understand that and you see the big picture, your moves become more calculated. Your steps become more crisp. It's like playing chess. You will not be successful in chess thinking one move ahead because most chess people are thinking 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you get to the masters, they're thinking 10, 12 moves ahead. So until you're able to actually plan out something and see something through, then you will constantly be walking through life blindly. That's like jumping in your car and not having a GPS and not knowing where you're going. So when you finally find your purpose, everything else will get out of your way. If you're truly living in your purpose, you do not have to worry about what you won't have. You do not have to worry about resources you don't have. You do not need to worry about things that you don't know or people that you don't know because the universe will bring all of this to you. If you're a religious person, then God will bring all of this to you. When you are truly living in your purpose, I try not to get overly religious. I'm not overly religious myself. I'm a very spiritual person and I grew up in a church. And in a church, they'll force certain things on you. In a church, they will uh, force a certain type of mindset on you and it scare people away. I haven't been to church in a while. I don't know if they still doing that now. I'm saying the way I grew up, and a lot of the people that I grew up with are no longer in the church. And I have some friends that are actually further in the church. They're pastors and things. And I do not feel like you know, I have to be a part of their purpose, even though I'm their friend. If they ask me something, I talk. If I ask them for advice, they give me advice. But if I'm out drinking and drugging every day and they're in church, then I'm not a part of their actual purpose. I understand that. It's people around you that they probably been around you 20, 30, 40 years. When you are truly living in your purpose, they will not be around you because they are not aligned with what you're trying to do. They do not fit in what you're trying to do. So do not feel bad about anything that changes when you align with your purpose, when you are living in your purpose. That is not your job to feel bad that you've lost a few friends or if you've had to move on from a relationship or you don't talk to people as much as you used to. It's time to live in your purpose. We are going into another year. And there are a lot of people out there right now. It's people that's listening to this right now. And they're saying when this happens in the new year and they coming up with these New Year's resolutions, and that's great. And I love it. I love the positivity of the new year. But have you ever thought about it's a first of the month every month? It's the first of the month every month. Yeah, January 1st is the first of the year, but it's the first of the month every month. Have you ever thought about a monthly resolution or quarterly resolution? You do not have to wait for January 1st for anything in your life. You can always say, well, I'm going to do this December 1st. I'm going to do this February 1st. I'm going to do this on my birthday if that's what you want to do. Me personally, I believe in setting goals and setting dates, but I've quit things cold turkey. I quit eating pork cold turkey. I didn't quit eating meat January 1st. Something happened a little after the new year, and I said I'm good on it. And I haven't ate meat since, at least not on purpose. I haven't ate pork on purpose. Sometimes you get food and you get tricked. I'm saying I haven't sat down and ate anything that I knew contained meat or pork since I stopped eating it. Cold turkey. When you're truly aligned with something, you're not waiting on something, you're gonna make it happen. And that's what I want to push to people. The why is bigger than the what. Always make sure the why is bigger than the what. So if you are doing something, uh, let's say you eating junk food or you're doing certain things, and you say, I want to slow down on the junk food, that's cool. But why? If you say, well, I want to slow down on the junk food because my blood pressure is high, or this is happening, or I'm gaining weight and I don't feel the same in the gym, or whatever. The why is bigger than the what. So when it gets rough, the why is what pushes you through the turbulence. Until you are actually living in your why, you will constantly be propelled left, propelled right. You will never be as focused as you should be because you can do all the right stuff. And it's easy to be that person when things are going in your favor. But when you hungry and there's nothing there but pepperoni pizza at the festival and you don't eat meat, then you have to make a decision. When you're there and everybody around you's doing one thing and everybody's saying we supposed to party like this, we supposed to do this and we supposed to do that, and you're saying no, I want to study because I want to make sure that my grade point average stays a certain a level and I want to finish school. That's when the purpose kicks in. I've been home 19 months and I've been living in my purpose. I'm not running around cheating on my woman. I'm not doing certain things I used to do and just creating all this confusion. So when things do come to me, I'm able to handle them. I have a core group of friends that I can call on when I need advice or when I need help with something. I have those friends because I'm not trying to be everybody's friend because I understand my purpose. And some people's purpose are not aligned with my purpose. So I do not feel forced to be your friend because I've been your friend. When you are truly living in your purpose, you will understand this. I don't make excuses for being outside of my purpose. It's people that say, oh man, you in your body. You hear that now. Oh, you in your body. He was in his body. And that's a sign of you being emotional. You in your body. You in your body. Well, until you find your purpose, you're definitely in your body. Once you find your purpose, you're in your spirit. It's a difference. I'm not about to drag this out. I hate when the pastor up there talking for too long. So I try to keep these between 20, 30, 40 minutes because I don't want to lose anybody. And I want you to go back and replay these. And what I've learned with even just releasing my last project, you need the replay value. So I like to keep these short and to the point. I don't like to draw everything out. If it was questions, I'll answer the questions. I'm not tripping on who tuned in, who didn't tune in. If you have questions, you can leave them in the chat or you could hit me in my DM. If you got my number, you can text me. My business number is available everywhere online, and that's 313-883-9664. You can reach out to me via that way. Any way that you can reach me, I am not one of those people that make themselves unavailable. I am not one of those people that say, hey, you need to pay me $200 for a consultation or do anything like that. I am a person that's easily contacted and I will definitely reach back out to you if I miss you. So I'm not here to preach to you, but I want you to understand what finding and living in your purpose is about. Find your purpose. Take the time today, or if you want to take these next 28 days to actually take the time to find your purpose, and you want to go into the new year living in your purpose. Do not get caught up in habits. Do not get caught up in friendships that do not benefit you. None. None. I'm saying there are certain friends that you have around. I use the word friends lightly. There are certain friends that you have around that benefit you none. They're only there for you when they need something. That's not your friend. So you need to live in your purpose and get rid of everything else. That's the only way to be successful. It's the only way to be prosperous. It's the only way to live your life to your full potential is to get rid of all the clutter, get rid of everybody who don't mean you no good and you know it. Do not give people a chance to screw over you two, three, four, five times. If they have shown you that they don't have your best interest in heart, then you need to get rid of them and you need to live in your purpose. Live in your purpose.